Hi, everybody. Welcome to All Things Metaphysical podcast with Kellie and Gail. We decided today that we should hop on and maybe do one for the first day of the new year. Maybe pull some cards, talk about our impressions for the new year, see what comes through. And if anyone is watching us live, you may actually get a reading, which we never do live. So if you're watching us live, say hi in the comments section. Let us know that you want a reading, and we will do that. I thought I would start with every year I draw a new picture for New Year's, a new mandala. And then this morning I had to channel a message. Pretty sure this one's from Jesus because they always start the same when they're from Jesus, and they're always blessings. So the message for everybody this year was, may you all find the peace, comfort, success, and balance you are looking for this year. May you all have the love of your family and friends to carry you through, and may abundance find you in all areas of your life. This is my wish for all of you in 2023.
Definitely a Jesus message, yes. Okay.
It reminds me of in the book where I wrote the Jesus blessings, and there's just a bunch of them. And they all start with may you.
Right.
That's his sign to me that it's him. So he always starts the same way when he comes through to give me a message. So again, if you're watching us live, put a comment in the comment section. Let us know you want a card. We are going to pick some cards live tonight. And let's just see where it goes. What would you like to start with tonight?
I think we probably should just start with intention setting.
Mhm.
Everybody talks about New Year's resolutions, and that's a crock anyway. But you can set an intention that this is going to be a good year, and that's simple enough to do. But this is definitely a good time of year to do that. The energies are supportive of
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. I've heard various forecasts for 2023. I don't usually buy into those too much, particularly when they are so varied, like what I've heard for this year. I've heard some people say it's going to be a great year for everyone. I've had other people say it's going to be a bad year for certain astrological signs. It's going to be whatever it is that you make it. Um, and I think that's really the important thing to think about around the first of every year.
Mhm. I was trying to find us live on YouTube so I could see if anyone had any questions on YouTube. So,
I know we have had some new people discover the channel.
mhm.
I know that because I've heard from them. Um, why they hadn't seen it before, who knows? But for whatever reason, people are seeing it. More people are actually watching
Mhm.
that I've heard from. I hear from my same couple of people that watch most of ours, but these are like new people that I happen to know that have seen the channel. So that's awesome. It's
Yes.
wonderful.
Well, welcome to everybody. This is your place to talk about any and all things metaphysical. Nothing is off the table. You will find with Kellie and I, we will pretty much discuss anything and answer any question that comes up. So, I think that it's really important to normalize things for people
Yeah.
and to give people a space where it's safe to ask questions, to not be judged, or to not have, any concerns about what they're asking. We usually, if someone puts a name in, we usually won't say the name. Although I guess if we're going to do some readings, we're going to have to say people's names today. But we try and just make sure that, like, if you don't want people to know that's your question or things like that, we're trying to respect everybody's privacy. Because sometimes people feel funny if you mention their name and this is their question, and they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't want you to do that." Who's in your room?
I literally just heard my doorknob rattle. And it's like somebody's trying to come in.
So again, if anyone's watching us, I don't see any comments yet. Looks like we have some viewers that are live. So I'm going to start with this. So I took some of my mandalas because I always wanted to see what my mandalas would look like as a deck of cards. So I made myself a deck of cards with my mandalas because, like I said, I wanted to see what it looked like. So I picked one of those. This is from the healing deck, and the card that popped up was syncing up. And that feels very fitting for me. It's like the dates before the end of the year were really difficult.
Right.
A lot of like things coming up to clear. And it's like now that the new year has hit, there's like this now pressure to sync up. And then I thought it was really funny because then I also drew a whole bunch of mantras because I was taking this mantra and yoga class. And the card that came up from that was Maha Mantra, which is connects us to the higher energy and helps us break away from the endless cycle and attachment to the physical world. So I thought that that was really funny that those were the two cards I pulled right before we started.
That's interesting.
What?
Yes, that is interesting.
Yeah, no messages there, or no help from anybody on the other side there. So if you're watching, please put a comment in the comment section. Let us know that you're here. If you want a card, we are prepared to pull some cards for some people. Do you want to just pull a card of
I'm
random for everyone?
gonna do this. This is an oracle deck, so it's a little bit different.
I don't use
Appreciate your talents. Don't know who that's for. Can't imagine.
So yeah, I mean, I think that, and as we get new viewers and as people are finding us and liking it, if there's things you want us to talk about or topics you want us to cover, please feel free to reach out to us. We're pretty easy to find, and we are happy to cover and talk about whatever you guys want us to. Although we're perfectly capable of just doing a whole show with whatever comes up and whatever channel messages we get in
Yeah.
whatever direction that we need to go. So,
One thing that I've heard a lot of people talking about in the last couple of days
mhm,
are how many people we've lost this year. So many people that I know have lost friends, family members, Barbara Walters. I mean, just a number of people have left the planet. And that's kind of affecting people collectively,
mhm,
that amount of grief. It's not just one person or a couple of people. It seems like it's many, many, many people transitioning. And around the holidays, when you get that, it kind of dims the light that would normally be around during that time of year. So I want to and let people know that's happening. A lot of people are just feeling discombobulated.
mhm.
It's the holiday hangover, is what I call it. It's going to pass. It's going to pass in the next week, and everything will get back to whatever you consider normal. I hesitate to use the word normal at this point, but
Normal is a setting on the wash machine.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Happy New Year, Facebook user. If you would like us to pull a card from you for you, please put your name because we don't know who it is. It just says Facebook user. Put your name in the comment section and we will go ahead and one of us will pull one for you. So just let us know. And yeah, I mean, I think that it's funny because I think back to 2020 when 2020 first happened. I remember getting all these messages about clear vision,
Hmm.
2020, perfect vision, not how I saw it going in order to become clear, but it
Yeah,
did
no,
really help a lot of people really become clear on what is important
right.
to us and for us. So, one of our Facebook users would love a card.
Okay.
So we will just use the first name. So this card is for Tiffany.
I'm using the cat deck.
Okay.
It is. It's a cat. They're all cats. Ooh. Focus upon the fact that you are loved. and you have the high, and God has the highest of intentions for you.
Mhm.
Positive outlook makes it much easier to recover from life's little hiccups. That's very interesting because that's kind of what I was just talking about.
Do you want to
Yeah.
hold the card up to the camera so people could see?
I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
It's a sunflower
Very cool.
with a cat.
So, Tiffany, I hope that answered your question. Um, so yeah, I was, like I said, just like everybody else on the planet, I've had things that I've had to deal with. I have so many people who have had surgeries or are struggling, and I forget how strong my healing abilities are
Yeah.
because I don't, it's not something I think about all the time. And I just think it's interesting because, like, I have, for basically, we were talking about this earlier in the week, or I guess I should say last week, is that I literally have been sending healing energy to multiple people every night for the last 3 months nonstop.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what you said with people are leaving and people are also having major events going on in their life, or somebody has had an accident or things like that. Do you want to go check and see what that is?
No, it's the same noise again. It's like somebody trying to open a door. It'd be interesting. It's probably one of my cats,
Mm.
but
So,
it may be. Yeah.
well, it's because you were playing with the cat deck.
Yeah.
So someone just wished me a blessed new year. Thank you. I have no idea who it is because it just says Facebook user, but thank you. Um, so it's just so interesting to me, you know, who we are and who we're going to become. Because I feel like this year is a lot about everybody really stepping fully into who they are, their gifts and their abilities. And I mean, you hear so much talk about mediums, and there's so many mediums now. That's not something you ever really heard about in the last
Right.
5 years, but now it's everywhere. And, I think about that. I think about intuitives. I just think about everybody has so much pain right now because so much has happened in the last couple of years. And everyone is looking for guidance and comfort
Yeah.
as we learn to manage this.
Yeah. And
Said I'm done now.
one thing that I hear from a lot of my clients is, well, I thought I healed that. I thought I was over that. Well, no, you're probably not because it keeps going. You go in a spiral and
Mhm,
you revisit things you thought you healed
mhm,
over and over again until they are finally completely healed. And that's something that I think an awful lot of people have been doing,
mhm,
especially the last couple of weeks. People have really been doing that. I've heard so many people talk about doing shadow work, and
mhm.
that's something you never used to hear people talk about, too. So I think as a whole, humanity is finally waking up. I'm cautiously optimistic, you know, finally waking up. And even people who maybe haven't really been open about what they believe or what they think is happening. I think we're going to have more and more people coming forward
Hmm.
that, you know, people have known forever. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that, that they felt like that. I have a little bit of inside information on a couple of those people that might be, but I can't say anything. It just, I am cautiously optimistic that humanity will actually finally wake up. And, we really can have a whole new world if people wake up and realize that the old way of doing things isn't going to work anymore. So we'll see what they do.
We've had some viewers tune in again. If anyone wants a card, we're pulling some cards tonight because this is just kind of fun, laid back. we thought we'd just hop on and do a all things metaphysical podcast today. So if you're watching and you want one of us to pull a card, and if you want one of us specifically to pull the card for you, please put your name in the comment section. Say you want a card and who you want it from, and we will take care of that. But it's really funny because I was talking to some friends about this. For the last like 2 weeks of 2022, I really wasn't getting, I mean, I was still getting messages and what people would think is a lot of messages, but for me, it was much slower.
Right.
But oh my goodness, today has been off the charts.
Uh-huh.
Like they have been talking nonstop to me all day long today. And I'm like, and what do you want me to do with all this information?
Yeah, it's been a busy day around here too. It's really I had something I was supposed to do, and I just really wasn't into it. And I was walking around and just muttering outside, just out loud to myself, you how can I do this graciously? How can I turn down this invitation? And I heard very clearly, just tell him you don't want to go.
Mhm.
I'm like, right. Yeah, but it's been a busy day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like today they're using this analogy, and this is what they're showing me. It's like on this invisible superhighway,
Yeah.
and like everyone is moving and going somewhere and literally syncing up, leveling up, and we're all in motion today, which is really weird.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
'cause
it's been really hard.
I just see it as lights whizzing by.
Yeah. It's been really hard for me to stay grounded today. I'm like, okay, I have to hang on because I'm going to float away. A card. Sure.
Okay, but please put your name in the comment section so we know who we're pulling the card for. Because you just say Facebook user on our end.
Yeah. But we'll go with it anyway. Ooh. Very springy. Very springy. You've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges, may pop up, but don't worry about them. That's a gazelle. I can't tell if you can see it or not.
Yes, now we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nice.
What are gazelles known for?
Swiftness, making really snap decisions,
Mhm.
being aware, and that's kind of what the message of it is too. If you're going to move forward, you're very welcome. If you're going to move forward in any project, anything that you've got planned, you need to be aware.
Mhm.
You need to watch for those little things. And they're saying there may be some hiccups, but don't worry about them. They're going to be very minimal. So,
I think it's funny because we've done this podcast for a little over a year now. This is the first time we've ever done this,
uh-huh.
where we put cards and just kind of hung out and just waiting for people to ask us questions and things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to do something a little bit different
Mhm.
from time to time. I
Mhm.
don't I don't know that I'd want to do it every single show, but yeah, it's fun every once in a while.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick one of these eternal light cards because these are like the coolest messages, but I have to put my glasses on to read them. Because, I've gotten to that age where now I have to wear my glasses to read anything. They just keep saying shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Then when they stop saying it, I get to stop shuffling. Do they ever do that when you're shuffling cards?
Hmm. Yeah, but usually if it's a big deck, I don't shuffle them at all. I just kind of mix them up.
Uh-huh.
And then when the card falls out, if you do it long enough, a
Uh-huh.
card is going to pop out, and that's going to be the one that you need.
So the message is embrace the new. They're just having so much fun with us today. It's just so funny. Embrace the new. Life is a circle, a cycle of changing seasons. Let us welcome each new chapter and surrender the past with grace. Let us remember that nothing is ever truly lost, for all live on eternally in our hearts. Threads of love connect us all. No one and no thing are separate. It feels like a good message for the first day of the new year.
Yep.
So I cut the deck. I'm telling you, they're just having a field day with me today. So that was embrace the new, and then
Mhm.
cut the deck, and it says a new perspective.
Got it. New.
Oh, you may not see it, you are a jewel. What you consider to be imperfect is your illusion. You shine eternally, even in darkness. Focus on your inner light to discover truth and wisdom that are unique to you. Your awareness is expanding and dimensions and spiritual pathways open.
That's another good message for the first of the year.
All right, I'm stopping while I'm ahead. I don't want to see what other new message they meant. So it's kind of funny.
I think every year the new year should be about hope for things to, move forward, get better, whatever. This year, though, seems to have some heaviness associated with it. So I think I would like the message to be don't pay any attention to the heaviness because it's
Well, it's
there.
interesting because as you said that, you know what image they're showing me,
Huh.
which I usually don't see this, which is really interesting. They're showing me a snake shedding its skin.
Yeah,
And like we're all going through that. And sometimes that can be a difficult process and
right.
hard, but you come out kind of shiny and new after you're done with that. So it's just I see a snake literally slithering, shedding its skin.
Okay.
Told you I my my they're talking too fast. I can't get words out. All right. If any of our other Facebook users want a card, please let us know and who you would like it from, and we will pull one.
The thing about a snake shedding its skin is you don't want to mess with with a skin or a snake that is shedding. They're the most aggressive at that point because if you look at their faces when they're shedding their skin, their eyes are covered with that skin.
Mhm.
So a snake shedding skin is not only about renewal, it's about caution. Just a shamanic little bit of
It's
wisdom there.
like I said, maybe it's because we've spent so much time talking that sometimes I get a lot of animal references now. Now,
That's
so now my spirit team's just being funny. Um, all right, Mel wants a card because now they're just showing me a whole bunch of animals, and they're showing me the giraffe, and looking from a higher perspective. Just like, you guys are not funny today. Mel, they told me to pick one of the healing cards for you, so let me shuffle those. Um, hmm. I'll have to shuffle 3 times because it's a very little deck. I didn't make very many cards. All right, Mel, the card for you is Healing Circuit. And that it's really important for you to tap into yourself to see what it is that you need for you and then allow it to come in. And sometimes that might be asking for help from others and, just really allowing the healing to come fully in and to transmute everything that needs to be transmuted.
That was odd. I just got an image when you were talking of knowing something and not wanting to know that.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that applies to this person or not, but that's what just came to me. It was like, I know it, I know it, I know it, but I'm pushing it away.
Mhm.
It's like, it's right here, but I don't want it here. I want it over there. So,
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to see things that we are seeing, but we don't want to be seeing. She said, and yes, it does resonate with her. Yes, that was from my deck of cards. Um, so, yeah. So just interesting. If anyone else is watching us live, please let us know if you want a card and we will pull one for you. Kelly and I are just kind of hanging out, sharing gifts today, sharing messages, and just sharing the channeled messages that we get while we're talking to each other.
anything could happen.
Oh, it's just been really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different kinds of energies bombarding the planet too. And
Mhm,
I think I can always tell when that's happening before I really find out it's happening because it really ungrounds me. It's
mhm,
like I'm just floating. And but yeah, it is. So I think a lot of people are being kind of unsettled today.
mhm.
Busy spiritual day though, very busy.
Yeah, Shannon, who would you like a card from today, Kelly or myself?
Let's both do one.
Okay, go ahead.
I gotta get the cats back again. Well, it's a really big deck, but you see how a card pops up?
Uh-huh.
That's how you know, oh, this is a good one. True and long lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with every action and choice. Isn't that cute? I think that's really pretty.
That's awesome. Are those pink flamingos?
Yeah, flamingos and butterflies.
Very cool. I guess I'll pull one of my own deck.
There you go. I would use them.
What?
I would use them, yeah.
Yeah,
It's your deck.
it's my deck. Spiritual healing and wholeness.
Hmm.
So, really learning, I don't know how to say this, learning how to center yourself in the spiritual messages, because
Okay.
that's where the power is going to come from and bring you that wholeness. Getting messages is one thing, but centering yourself in the frequency of that message is how you're going to move forward.
Yeah.
That's a cool card.
Cool card.
Sorry, sometimes I look at the pictures and I'm like, when did I draw that? I don't remember creating that. That's really
It's like
cool.
me rereading my books. Who wrote that? I did. Wow, I'm smart. Yeah, I don't remember it. My entire first book was channeled entirely.
Well, most of mine have been, so.
Yeah. It's like, I don't remember writing that.
Any other questions from anybody? Things that make you go, hmm. They said to pull one more for humanity.
There you go.
Hi, Andrea. Let us know if you want a card from me or Kelly. We're pulling cards for people tonight. We're just kind of hanging out on our podcast. So, because it's a new year, we wanted to play in the new energies. And boy, are there a lot of new energies today.
A lot. A lot. Yeah. There's, never mind.
All right. So they said to pull one. All right. There's a story behind this card, but So the card that I pulled for everybody is DNA chain healing.
Yes.
So part of the reason that we're all, wow, they really don't want me to say this. Part of the reason we're all a little wonky is because they're leveling up our DNA right now. So we're all going to feel a little off. They're making some changes, which freaks people out when you say that. But they have to adjust some things in our DNA as we move to the higher frequency. So that I think is what a lot of the discomfort and everything that everyone's been feeling is about. So yeah, I drew this one when my mom was really sick, and with the way institutions work, she was having a hard time getting her medicine. So I'm like, I'll just take care of it. So that's where this card came from. DNA chain healing. So let us know if anyone else would like a card tonight and who you would like it from. We have about 10 more minutes that we will be on live. So
Yeah, people are saying wonky is an understatement. There has been a ton of releasing and a ton of downloads lately.
mhm.
I'm hearing that's going to continue for a while, so get comfortable with it.
Well, I always feel like January is just the transition month.
Right.
Really more of the same from 2020. 2022, you're just figuring out what else you still need to do. I always feel like the new year doesn't really start till February 1st. That's
That's,
just me.
yeah, seems accurate. Yeah.
Not to mention that our time is really off for various reasons that I'm not going to go into. So just because we think it's really 1/1/2023, and we may actually be ahead of that. So, yeah, I can see your comments, Andrea. You want to pull one, Kelly, or you want me to pull one?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, I'll pull one of the healing ones. Actually, no, they said to pull one of the mantra ones. And then whichever one I pull is the mantra that, Andrea, you should look up and listen to and see what that does. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I was too busy talking, Andrea. That's why I didn't see your comment. So you got Soham. So listen to the mantra Soham, which is really just 2 words, but it's I am that I am. And that's really important for you right now, is to just be who you're supposed to be and stop worrying about what other people think or
I can guarantee you they don't. They just don't think.
Soham. Yeah, that's how you spell. It's 2 words though. Soham. If you just Google it on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find some versions of it. And you can also just look up what Soham means, but it's basically it's basically I am that. Most people add the I am, but it's really I am that. And then you can just add whatever you want after it. So, yeah. Kelly, do you want a card, either a healing card or a mantra card?
Sure, whatever you want to do.
Which would you prefer?
I don't care. Ask them. They've
What
been quite chatty. So
they said to do one of each.
that figures.
Mhm. All right, so let's see. I'm not okay. That's your healing one. I know what it is because I know what they all are. So I said I'm not going to look at it. I know exactly which one it is. which you're going to laugh when you see which one it
I
is.
probably will anyway.
Okay. So you got healing with Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain.
Yep. Always, always, always.
And Hare Krishna, the all attractive energy of God, please guide me into your service.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
which Krishna, we were talking about this. My mouth needs to work with my brain, and that is
No,
not
it doesn't.
is not happening. But anyway, so for those of you who don't know, the last year I've taken Sing into Spring, and it was a lot about mantras and using your voice. And then I took a course about yoga and mantras and meditation. And so all these mantra cards came out of the two classes, the experience. Every time I heard a mantra, I, of course, had to sit down and draw the energy around it. But the interesting thing is for me, and I was talking when I had to pick my uncle up the other day. Okay, so growing up, one of my favorite soundtracks was from the musical Hair.
Okay. I get
Favorite
it. I get it.
favorite song was Hare Krishna. And I never understood it till recently, is that Krishna, Vishnu, they're all the same reincarnation.
Hmm.
I believe Vishnu was the original, and then Krishna is like the seventh reincarnation. So, anyways, so I just think it's really funny because I didn't know that that was one of my guides till recently. So it's just funny that I was listening to that song when I was like 5, 6 years old. And it's like my favorite song to listen to. And now I know why.
Yep. Yep. It's funny how that works. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little self disclosure today. But isn't that funny?
That is funny. Yeah. And yet it makes perfect sense. Yes.
So you're going to pull a card for me?
Sure. We're gonna do oracle cards. We're gonna
That's good because I'm allergic to cats.
the guides. I know. Actually, that's why I grabbed the other deck. Journey within. No, I think we need less journeying within, but that's what it is.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Well,
anybody that says they don't have a sense of humor on the other side is
well, come
no.
on. We got all the cards that said new perspective, new, just a bunch of new things. We just want to thank everyone for joining us, on short notice today because we were going to do it on our regular day. But it's like, you know what? It's the new year. Let's start it off with new energy, just have some fun.
Yep.
So, thank you. So, I guess we will be back in like 2 weeks. We will do our first show because we were going to, or we'll just do it next week.
We can probably do it next week. Yeah.
Probably just do it next week.
Yep.
So if anything comes up or there's anything that you want us to talk about, shoot one of us an email. Put comments on YouTube in the comment section. We do read those. And we want to welcome all the new people who are finding us and listening to us. Kellie and I just really like to hang out. And honestly, we really just like to see where things go.
Yep.
We may have an idea or a question to start the show with, which is never where it ends up when we're done.
Scenic route, I tell you, the scenic route.
And then the other funny thing is after the show's over, Kellie and I will look at each other and say, what did we talk about?
Yep.
It's kind of funny. All right. Thank you all very much. And we will see you guys all again soon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.